What's going on, guys? Smooth Toker 420, making another video with you guys. So it's almost like it's turning out to be like some sort of a blog, or vlog. Sorry, VLOG. I'm not too keen with technology and all that shit. Anyway, so went and did some stuff with the VA, stuff today. I had to go do a bunch of things, and it's been a painful couple weeks here. Still haven't been able to get medicine for myself. Still haven't been able to medicate with marijuana, as you guys know. I mean, and I think, and that's where a lot of my pain is where the pain is getting worse, is where, the marijuana was helping it. So think about it like this. Think about it like when I medicate myself, I am definitely a little more mobile for sure. I'm not the swelling and the pain and all that. It's not nearly as prominent, in my body, in my back. And just to explain really quickly to you guys that may or may not know, I was in an accident back in 2011. I was in the Army, and then I did my time. I got my honorable discharge, and I took a year off. Wanted to take a year off. I was going to go back in the Army. I just wanted to take a year off. I worked at a paving job, and I got into a really bad auto collision. I was the passenger in a vehicle, and we got hit head on by a Mack truck, with the little bulldog on the front and everything, full of hay. It was a full hay load. And the driver was on our side of the road, and he just hit us head on, and I didn't have a seatbelt on. The seatbelts in the vehicle did not work. It was an old vehicle. Anyway, long story short, I got seriously injured from that accident. I needed a hip joint fusion. I've got 3 titanium screws connecting my hip to my joint. I suffered some severe back problems from it. I ended up getting nerve damage. I ended up getting a bulging disc, slip discs, and a herniated discs. And don't ask me exactly which ones, because I would literally have to go in my room. I've got a stack like this, guys, from my doctors, from 5 different surgeons and doctors from Vermont to New York. And from all the tests that they ran, and they had to inject me with a toxic dye that was radioactive, and it actually came in a special syringe. It was a lead syringe in a lead box, and they had to inject me with that stuff, and I had to wait for like 2 hours for it to circulate through my bloodstream. And when they did the test, they did, on the computer, it showed that my lower back was all in the red, and that was all the nerve damage, and the inflammation, the nerves. It was just lighting up the whole screen with just red, all in the lower back. So they knew that I was in severe pain, and they knew that I wasn't taking painkillers because I refused. And there were times before where literally I was with my girlfriend at the time, Lizzie, and I was in bed all day. The only time I got out of bed was to go use the latrine, to go use the bathroom. And that was the only time. I was there after my surgery with the hip joint fusion, and I was very immobile for a very long period of time. And then, the painkillers were just god-awful, and I swore off those. So luckily, one of my surgeons had actually recommended that I try medical marijuana to help with my physical pain. And I had been using marijuana before, so I knew what it was all about, and I knew that that it legit helped me. So I got a prescription, and I became a medical marijuana patient in Vermont. And the problem with that was that the dispensary in Burlington, well, they were charging ridiculous prices for medicine, guys. And I'm not even going to joke. They were charging $55 an eighth for patients. Now, if you were low income, you got up to 20% off, which isn't so bad. So that makes it to like $42 or something like that. I myself ended up getting 15% off, I believe it was, or 10% off, because I was, a veteran. So I got a veteran's discount. So at the end of the day, every eighth that I would get was $47.50. Not fun, guys, when you literally, you don't have too much money. And at the time I had a settlement from the accident, so I was using that settlement money to purchase my medicine exclusively. I spent thousands, and I'm not exaggerating, guys, thousands of dollars each month. Like I'd spend like anywhere between $700 to $1,000 a month on the medicine. They were charging like $300. Was it $300 an ounce? I think it was, or $300 a half ounce. I can't remember exactly. And it all depended on what you got. So, the medical marijuana program in Vermont it's good in this aspect. If you want to grow your own, you can have up to 9 plants, 2 being fully mature and the rest in a vegetative state. So, 2 plants budded, ready to be harvested, and 7 plants vegetative, non-budding. To the people who don't know my channel, and I only assume that people that go on my channel know what I'm talking about. So if you guys have any questions about anything that I can answer, leave a comment. Feel free. I'll answer it to the best of my ability. So my birthday present came today or yesterday. I don't know which day. It was either yesterday or today. And it's really sad, guys. It sucks so bad. Because, as you guys may know, I like to vaporize my medicine, and I don't mind smoking it. I'm not like a complete snob. Ugh. I will smoke joints. I will smoke blunts, but I prefer to vaporize because it's healthier, and it gets you higher, and I enjoy the taste. I enjoy the subtlety of it. It's just really nice. So. This is what happened to my Arizer Solo. Oops. Some decarb in there. I've been smoking on decarb, guys. So there's the tip. It broke off. I dropped it on the floor, and it broke. So literally, I've been using this thing and being very careful, putting my mouth over it, and I've been hitting it that way. Well, Lizzie, my ex from Vermont. What up, Lizzie and her boyfriend? How you guys doing? She asked me, well, what do you want for your birthday? And I said, well, I really need a new tube for my Arizer Solo, so that's what I get in here. I think it's Arizer order fulfillment. So let's open this up, guys. Let's see what we got in here. And there it is. And there it is. Yes, indeed. Okay, so there it is. My new Arizer tube. Got the 4 holes in there for airflow. And that little part right here, guys, in the front, right here, that's where you pack your weed. Now let's compare it to the other one. Because, not all glass is blown equal. I know that some glass has small warps or, some glass just isn't, And with this older piece right here, so let's put them side by side. And you can see right here that it's a different shape, completely different shape. Not completely different, just a small difference. And it looks to be like this new bowl is a little bit smaller than this one right here. So it looks like they went a little further up with, just a little bit. They went a little further up with the little glass screen thing in here that you guys can see. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. So what we're going to do is, because literally, guys, I have nothing to smoke except for vaped decarb. Oh, sorry about that. Lost you guys. Just give me a sec here. And the beauty about vaporizers, guys, is that there's no smoke. It's vapor. It's not really smoke, so it's water vapor. So, You're literally vaping off, the THC, all the cannabinoids, and you're getting the CBG, CBA, CBVs, all the different THs and CBs, and there's so many. There's like a whole wheel of them, guys. So if you want to know exactly what's in marijuana, go online, go to Google, and look for yourself. Check it out. There's a whole wheel of different THs and CBs, CBDs, and all that. So it's really educative. And I've known about that for a few years now. For about 3-4 years now, I knew about all the different sources, or not sources. I'm sorry, chemicals. Within marijuana. So, sorry guys, trying to do this reclining in my chair, and I'm trying to just get as comfortable as possible because I'm in a lot of pain, not gonna lie. And it ain't getting any easier. I want to share with you guys also something else. So this happened to me on Monday, this past Monday. Needed to go to some appointments. The roommate, won't say any names, brought me to one of my appointments and then brought me to another appointment, and time was constricting. And I said, well, it's, just bring me back to the house, and I will, I'll just have to figure it out on a different day or something, I guess. I don't know. I can't spend 5 or 6 hours in a place waiting for a ride to come and get me when I'm in this much pain. I'm just in so much physical pain, guys. And it causes me such mental distress that I've been crying for days now. And it's not because I'm a pussy or because I'm weak. It's just because, guys, I feel like I've got nothing. I feel like it's not that I don't have anything. It's that I'm struggling so hard to just find a place to live. I've got 2 months now to find a place to live. I called the landlord, and to make a long story short, the roommate had cornered me on the back porch, was pointing her finger at me, calling me a worthless piece of shit because I'm disabled. I'm on Social Security and disability, completely disabled. I fought for 4 years, guys, for that pay. To be able to help me because I wasn't able to work, and I'm not able to work. Now, are there some jobs that I might be able to do out there? Well, that really depends on how many hours a day, because I'm thinking, anything more than a couple hours a day, and I have to be able to sit, I have to be able to stand, and I have to be able to at least recline, if not lay down, which is more beneficial for me, is to lay down. And I don't know too many jobs that provide that kind of luxury where you can sit, you can stand, and you can recline back. I mean, I got to look at it realistically. And I've always been the kind of person that's pushed myself to try to do as best I can and try to do better. And sometimes it's hard when you feel like there's no hope or there's no light at the end of the tunnel, and you're stuck. You're depressed. You're stuck, and you feel like there's no way out, and you become so depressed, and you curl up, and it's hard to do anything. Hard to do anything. So there was a lot of other things that were said to me. I was a psychopath because I choose to believe in certain conspiracy theories, which I actually believe are true. But I can't talk to this person about what I feel is true, although they can talk to me about how they have their beliefs and their opinions. But when it comes to my beliefs or my opinions, I get shut down. And actually, do you know what I get told, guys? I get told to shut the fuck up. From a person who was in the military, from a veteran who was in the military, who was 2 ranks above me, who should know better than to make fun and pick on a guy who is disabled, who is needy, who does need help. I broke down in tears, guys. I was bawling my eyes out for 2 days. Today's Wednesday, and I bawled my eyes out all day Monday and all day Tuesday. I was on suicide prevention numbers with veteran suicide prevention numbers. I was talking to so many people, trying to get things figured out. Trying to get things figured out as to where I'm going to live, where I'm going to go, because, guys, you know me, my cat is one of the most important things in my life. My cat is like my son. I love him. I love him with all my heart. He's the only thing I got in this world right now. And there isn't a damn thing I wouldn't do for him. And I can't see my cat be homeless. And I sure as hell with my conditions can't be homeless. So I've been working with the DAV, and I'm trying to get in with, I'm trying to work with the VA, and I've got an appointment on January 31st at the VA hospital. And I'm really trying to do the best I can despite my mental limitations as well as my physical limitations and the fact that I don't have a car or a driver's license. So long story short, the roommate put me in a shitty position where I actually did feel like I was a worthless piece of shit because I'm disabled. And if you guys know me, you guys know that I was able-bodied before the accident. I was able-bodied and I was ready to rock and roll. I could do any job and I would do it fast. I would do it good. And I was a hard worker. A lot of people knew that. And I was a good worker, And so when you're told that shit and you already feel like a worthless piece of shit because of your disabilities, and it took me a long time, guys, to admit the fact that I was disabled and I was pushing myself to do things that I couldn't do, and it was hard for me to accept those things as well. And it brought tears to my eyes every time, because you know how hard it is when you're in so much pain and you can't even put on your own socks, or you can't even wash your own feet in the shower because you can't bend over that far. You can't, and sitting down and lifting up the leg kills, the sciatica that I suffer with, and it kills when I have to lift my leg up, and even to clip my toenails. Guys, there's a lot of things that are very difficult for me to do. Very difficult for me to do. And sometimes, guys, I let my toenails just grow for a little ways. And then I'm like, okay, I've worked up, where I have medicine and I'm able to medicate. And I'm like, okay, it's not going to be as bad this time. And the thing is that my problems are getting worse. I have a disease in my back. It's called disintegrating disc disease. It's sometimes a hereditary thing and sometimes it's not. And it's basically where the bones just kind of become more brittle. The cartilage in between, that separates the bones becomes very thin and hard. And then it basically, what happens is that my bones and my back are rubbing against each other. And that friction is causing swelling. And then it's also causing muscle spasms. So when I don't medicate with marijuana, which help control my muscle spasms, which help control the inflammation, which help control the pain, and which help control my depression and any other issues that I'm having upstairs, I rely on it. And it's not like I'm taking painkillers, and it's not like I'm addicted to heroin or coke or any of that shit, because I don't do drugs except for marijuana. And I even quit smoking cigarettes, guys. I've been, what is it now, like 11, 12, 7, 8, 9. It's been like 11 days now. It's almost been 2 weeks, and I haven't had a cigarette. I haven't had a cigarette. I quit smoking. And I did it just cold turkey, without a patch, without anything, just the vaporizer. Sorry, so I do have a little crutch. It's a vaporizer, but I'm not vaporizing nicotine. I'm actually just vaporizing the flavor. So I'm trying to do the best I can just to make my life better in any way that I can, and try to remain positive. But I got to tell you guys, it's hard to remain positive when you're in a situation like mine, or when you're in a situation like somebody like me, where you're suffering with chronic pain every day, and then the medicine that you use is taken away because you can't afford it, and you basically have to go without. Literally, you have to go without, and it's very difficult. So anyway, we're going to take this decarb, and we're going to empty it out in this little container. And this container right here, guys, is decarb to decarb. This is the same container from my last video. I don't know if it was the Facebook video or the YouTube video. I can't remember. I don't really, whatever. So we're going to take the decarb to decarb. And it sucks because I gotta put it in a weed container. And this right here was from Heavenly Buds, one of my favorite companies out here in Washington State, guys. Heavenly Buds, I love those guys. They're putting out some really good product, and it's pesticide free. This right here was some Cinex. So yeah, there's no Cinex in here anymore. Just a bunch of brown, super brown, super vaped decarb. Well, guys, when you haven't smoked in as long as I have, I think this, if I vape it again, I mean, I know it's going to taste bad, but I think it's going to get me high. So let's try it out. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit more of a shallow chamber this time around, but you know, that's okay. I'm just really happy that there was somebody out there, somebody who I love very much, and somebody who I still love very much, and I will always love very much. And and it was, basically, the only person that thought about me was my ex girlfriend, was Lizzie. Um, and once everything is figured out, I had a Christmas present that I got for the kittens, the cats at the house, Gohan and Opie, and I had a Christmas present that I got for Joseph, the husky. And Unfortunately, the toy for Joey got. I don't know what happened with that. It was like a Kong dental dog toy, and apparently it got sent back. I got refunded. I don't know. So financially, when I'm more stable and when I'm in a better position, I do have to get that dental dog toy for Joseph, and I owe Lizzie a Christmas and a birthday present. Her birthday's on 4/20, guys, so that's really cool. Anyway, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna turn it on, and we're gonna turn the heat up all the way to 7, all the way to 7, guys. Which also, when I'm actually vaping buds, I turn this up to 3, maybe 4. You don't need it any higher than that because you're gonna sit there and cough and choke. The vapor is gonna be really hot, and it's not the most enjoyable of times. So usually about 3 or 4 is what I vape on. And like I said in my last video, the best way to conserve your weed is to, grind it up in your grinder, throw a little bit of weed in here just to cover the holes in the bottom. Take a little bit of oil, or if you don't have any oil, just make your own. Make a little bit of rosin if you've got the means. If you've got the hair straightener, and if you've got the parchment, and use a little bit of rosin. And throw it in the middle, and then cover the top of that with a little bit more bud. And this thing, it'll turn off itself, and you're going to turn it back on and crank it back up, and you're still puffing, you're just getting mad clouds, and it still tastes good. It doesn't taste like that vaped decarb is bad, because the oil saturates the weed, and then it just makes it so much more enjoyable and lasts so much longer. So that's what I've been doing. Well, not recently, but that's what I discovered. That's what I was doing for a little while. And actually, I was doing that back at home in Vermont, too. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to adjust this. That's what I was doing back home in Vermont, too. So, yeah. So we're going to let this get to 7, and we're going to see if we can pull any vapor off it. And the thing about vaped weed like this, like double vaped weed, is that the chance of actually getting any amount of vapor off it is very, very slim. So, basically, yeah, let's see what happens. Let's wait till it gets up to 7, and anyway, guys, and to finish the story, so I have an eviction notice because after what transpired on that porch and the things that were said to me, can anyone blame me for not wanting to be here or live here anymore? This wasn't a situation like the other roommate where we were talking with the person and we were trying to convey the issues or whatever, and no, this was a person who's got mental fucked up disabilities in their own head because they're fucking psycho. This roommate is a fucking nut. And I'm telling you guys, sometimes when people are in the military for a certain amount of time, or sometimes when people believe things so strongly that there's just no other possibility, it's very close-minded. I'm always open to the possibility that maybe my conspiracy, what I believe in to be certain conspiracy, and I'm not a big, huge conspiracy theorist, guys. I just believe some things, didn't happen the way that were said. And I think some things were faked. But anyway, we're at 7. Let's see what we got. So as you can see, hey, persistence, no! And this is another reason right here, guys. My cat, like, he likes to wrestle with the other cat, and then the other cat starts going, "Meow." And my cat likes to play, and sometimes he plays a little rough, and it's unfortunate that I just, can't be, in a position where I can let my cat just be outside the room, because my roommate's cats, and I'm not saying, no, it's Riley and Persistence get along pretty good, but it's the other cat, Oz. She's a female and she hates Persistence. And Persistence is just really curious about her. He wants to kind of play and chase her around and have fun. And that's what he wants in his mind. But in her mind, she hates him. She claws at him. I found a claw in my cat's head one day, in Persistence's head. There's a claw sticking right out of his head. And I'm like, buddy, oh no. I had to pull the claw out. And one time he cut her lip a little bit. He like attacked her. They went at it. And he cut her lip open just a little bit. So Riley and Persistence like to chase each other, and sometimes they get a little too riled up. So I got to yell, I got to raise my voice, and I don't like doing it. And as you can see, guys, I'm getting some vapor, but if you could taste this, you'd be gagging. This is a gaggy, burnt, not burnt, but just vaporized. If you guys ever vape, you know it's a vaped out flavor. Very gross. But let's see if it can medicate me. Also, guys, this one seems to fit in here a little bit better. So we are getting some vapor. And so what I'm trying to do now, just so everybody knows, everybody can, and all my YouTubers, the all 33 of you, I love you guys. I love you guys. And if there's ever a situation with any of my YouTubers, any of you, I don't care who you think you are, or whatever. If there's a situation going on in your life where you need help or you need someone to talk to, guys, I'll talk to anybody. I've made this very clear. And if there's some way that I can help you, if you know me personally, or even if you don't know me personally, and there's some way that I can help you, and it's within my means, I will help you. I'm not a selfish person, and I try to do the best I can, and I respect the fact that everybody goes through problems in life, and and I only wish the best for each and every one of you. Each and every one of you, I only wish the best for, and I hope that, good things are always coming your way. Always. I hope good things come your way. Riley, you're not jumping up here. So, I am in the process right now. I'm going to be evicted on April 3rd, and officially Persistence and I will have no place to live. It's very difficult when Social Security and Disability only pays you $755 a month, guys. And right now I'm reaching out to all the different programs that I can, all the different places through the VA and everything I can do. And it's not because I'm a user. It's not because I'm trying to use these programs, but I need these programs. It's not about use or want. This is about need. And so, guys, I'm actually getting a very, very slight head change. My pain levels, they're not getting touched. And that's another problem, excuse me, is that when you're in this amount of pain and you're smoking this kind of stuff, it's really, really not going to touch your pain too much. You might get a slight head change because you haven't really smoked much, or I mean anything, but it's giving me a little bit of a head change. So I guess that's not so bad. I was hoping that I could maybe get a little bit more of a little bit relief in my body, but Anyway, guys, we're going on 30 minutes now for this video, and I'm sorry that some of these videos are so long, but I really want to explain to you guys, and I want you guys to understand, my position, and there's other people out there like me who are in similar situations, you know, so don't judge, there's a lot of homeless veterans out there, guys, and there's a lot of suicidal veterans, and I have a couple friends myself who were suicidal veterans and attempted it, and thank God that it didn't happen. But you got to look out for one another, guys. You got to look out for one another. If you have a friend and you've known each other for however long, or you've only known each other for say 5 years, or if you have a friend who is in a bad position and you're able to help or do something, don't be afraid. Don't be hesitant. Not everything works out the way people want it to, and it's unfortunate, but that's life, right? And right now, I'm just trying to get my own life together as well. I'm struggling so hard, and all I ask for in life is it's pretty simple. It's not that I expect anything, but in a way, I do expect to a certain degree to at least know that I serve my country and I've worked most of my life and I've done what I can, and now it's time for my country to take care of me a little bit. I kind of feel that way sometimes that I need help, and maybe they should help me. I've never asked for help before from like that, and there have been times in life where I've been like asked help from my friends, like, hey, I don't have anywhere to stay. I'm homeless. I have a job and I can pay you this, but I have no place to live. I've been on the streets in the woods, living in a tent. Like, and a lot of the time I do that because I don't want to be a burden to anybody in any way. And that's one of my biggest things is that I don't really want to be a burden to anybody. And I'm not. I spend 95% of my time, and probably even more than 95% of my time, in my bedroom. Because I'm in so much pain, or this is where everything is. My bed is right next to me, guys. My chair is right next to my bed, and everything is right here where I need it. I don't have to be walking around and exerting myself or hurting myself any more than what I already am. And yes, I do walk around sometimes, and I am able, when I'm medicated especially, I am able to get around a little bit better, that's for sure. I'm noticeably different. Noticeably, I'm not in as much pain. You can still see that I walk funny and that I'm in pain, but it's not nearly as bad. So, yeah. I'm just trying to keep my head up, guys. I'm just looking for